Hello, welcome to Pecan Corner. I'm Tina, and today I'm cutting up waste limbs that are too small to cut with the chainsaw, and I'm turning them into firewood for a quick burn, and into fire starters. I've been, we waste so much wood, and I have all these little bitty limbs that fall all year long from the three big pecan trees and the big bur oak tree that are in our yard, and I'm tired of wasting them. I have to wait until there's been a rain and there's not a burn ban on and there's no wind and there's somebody here to help me before I can burn them up. And if I'm going to try to put them in the trash, I have to cut them up in order to fit them in the trash. So I was reading about the British, and they in the old days, the English, they didn't cut firewood. They just gathered deadfalls and made it into bundles, and that's in addition to the peat in the areas where there's peat or coal in the coal mining areas. In addition to that, that was what they burned. So I thought, I'm going to give this a try. So I started out making these little bundles, which I'm eventually going to make some even smaller ones and dip one end into paraffin wax and make my fire starters that way. But for now, I've just got these little bundles, and they're great. And so we've been having things where, like today, for instance, was in the 60s yesterday, and the high today is 70. However, it got down to 36 last night, so it was chilly in the house when we woke up this morning. So I didn't want a full big log fire, but we needed something. So 2 of these bundles of little bitty sticks and 1 of these bundles of bigger sticks lasted for 3 hours and knocked the chill off, and then died away before the day got warm. And so that was perfect. Well, that's just waste wood, that means I'm not wasting my good big logs, and I can save them for when it's really cold. The other thing that these would be great for is warming up the house when we've gone. While back, we were out of town overnight. We came home. It had been below freezing and was still chilly outside, and we walked in and the house was just frigid. And so a couple of these and 1 of these just zoomed up the heat real fast and knocked the chill off, and then I was able to put my bigger logs on and get them going to preserve that heat. So let me show you real quick how I am tying these up. Now, I don't have a chainsaw, and I probably wouldn't be any good with one, so I'm using my compound miter saw to cut the bigger pieces. And I've got here, I've got some ready to cut. The little bitty ones I can break by hand, and the reason that I'm using this little cradle is I had trouble tying them and getting them tight, and I saw on YouTube where a guy had a cradle. His, of course, was bigger and metal because he was coppicing trees and shrubs and bushes, and he was binding that into might have been willow or something, and he was binding that into big bundles, and so his was open-ended. And I looked around, and I had this this bookcase that's really not very good for anything, this little book rack, and so to keep them from falling through it, I put some tin foil over it, and now let me put this on the tripod. Okay, and let me show you what I've got going here. Oh, no, hold on. Okay, I started out using cotton twine, which I would prefer for the burn factor. However, I'm afraid it'll rot. So this is some acrylic yarn that I just happen to have laying around. If you have baling twine or baling wire, that baling twine, not wire but twine, that would work. I've made a loop, tied a firm loop in one end of my string, and there's my other one. Now I'm going to lay my little sticks in there. Now we want the, you want all these little pieces off. So your sticks need to be fairly straight. Any that are crooked need to go on top, because otherwise they'll keep it from, the object is to seat it down in there so that it forms a tight bundle. So all these little pieces need to come off. This one, since I'm putting it in the top, I can leave that on, but if I were going to put that in the bottom, I would want to break that little piece off. Same goes for that one. You can mix the sizes fairly well. Now, let me show you. So see how that seats down into that? I've got this braced so that it's sitting upright, to kind of use gravity to knock those down into there. Now I'm going to put my yarn through that loop, and then I'm going to bring it around and tie it tight. But first, there we go. Okay. Now I'm just pulling and pulling against that loop. Okay. Get it good and tight. Now I'm going to hold it tight, and I'm going to bring it under an open place there. There we go. Okay, and now I'm going to pull that. I'm not going to worry about pulling that end out. I want to pull this tight first. There we go. Okay, and I don't want to worry about bringing this out because I need to keep it tight. And if I try to pull that loop out, it's going to loosen up on me. Okay, ready? Now I'm going to, oops, let me get it where you can see it. Okay, see how we are? We're up tight against that. Oops. Let's get it tight here. There we go. There we go. Okay, now. Got it? I'm not doing too good having to do this and show you, but you develop a rhythm with it, and it gets to where it works. Okay, now just pull that through. There you go. And there it is. Now you've got a tight bundle that won't fall apart. And you can just put it into your wood pile. Bring it around again. It just needs the one. So one will be enough, and the more you do them, the more you'll get comfortable with it. Now the big ones, let me take this stuff out of the way and I'll show you how to do the big ones. Okay, since I don't have a good cradle, I'm using this this chair as a cradle. And so I've made my little loop, and I'm just going to hang it through the side there in my yarn. And now I'm going to put my sticks in here. Just going to move up the back of the chair to kind of let it hold everything in place. There we go. Okay. Now then, let's make this easy on ourselves. Now then, I've got it up against there. Everything fits nice and snug, nice and tight. And now I'm going to pull that through that loop and just bring it up and pull tight. Can you see what I'm doing here? Okay. Let me see if I can get this up where you can see better. There we go. Okay. Okay. Bringing that tight. And now where there's an opening, I'm going to push my yarn through. Keep holding that tight. You'll get to where, well, I loosened it up. You'll get to where you can do this, and it just works the first time. Okay, let's try this again. Now, okay, there we go. Now we're tight. And this is why I don't worry about pulling that full end through, because I need to keep it tight while I'm, there we go, now. There we go. All right, now, see, now we have a good tight bundle that will just go on the wood pile along with other logs, and I can treat this like one log. If it's not tight enough, you know, I can jam a couple of narrower sticks in there to hold it tight. But so far, like I was showing you earlier, most of my ones that I've been doing are really the the knot is not hard to make, and maybe somebody has a better way of showing how to make the knot, or to tie it where it's, but it's just a matter of, hold this where there you go. Okay, with my loop there, and bring my yarn through there, and then pull it backwards against the loop until it's really tight. And that's when you know, you need that little space that you can tuck it under and pull it up through this second loop here. There we go. And see that, pull it tight, and then there you go. All right, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm getting rid of lots of logs that, like I said, some of them are too small for that was big enough for a chainsaw, and I'll have to wait until somebody's with a chainsaw. But these other little ones are small and have a big old pile of them in the back. So we're going to turn it into a whole bunch of these little bundles. In fact, I may even make me another one of these little log holders just for my bundles, because I'm probably going to need them. All right, thanks a bunch. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for stopping by.